Test, test, test. What is up, everybody? Radar here with what was and right now is, for those watching the live stream, hey live stream, on Twitch. This will go up on the YouTube ASAP, but I am trying out Savage Lands. It's kind of a sandbox survival fantasy world game. I would say think Rust meets Morrowind, or Morrowind meets The Forest. Kind of, sort of. The Forest allows you to do a lot more when it comes to building of structures than this game currently allows. But let me go ahead and hop on in here. I've messed around with it quite a bit, as well as played with some friends and family on the old interwebs, so away we go. But you know, the big question with this particular game is it going to get good? As you can see, this is an early access build, which you can see in the upper right corner of the screen. An alpha build, I would say, like, it most definitely seems like an alpha build. The game, for in and of itself, has a good foundation, has good ideas. There's some, you know, decent systems in place for this to actually be something good, to actually be a good game. My vitals are very low and I'm starving to death. I kind of stopped caring when because in this game you can actually respawn. There's no permadeath. If you get one of these little resurrection poles up, you can respawn back at that when you select it. You can set up multiple of these, so that's useful for setting up, because there's a burned village down the way along this beach here. There's some skeletons and loot to be found there. But again, it's early access, pretty rough. You can see all these fires here. That's because you can't relight a fire currently. This is actually day 2. I'm recording on the second day of this game having been released in early access. No updates have come just yet, but you know, this is one of those things you need to give them some time to get the feedback and, you know, get the ball rolling on certain updates. I'm trying to build a town hall here. You might be wondering, why do you have, you know, 3 houses, like 3 shacks? Well, like I said earlier, I was playing with some friends and family, and we eventually linked up and we kind of started building a hovel. But currently, this game, like, there's elements, not necessarily in place, there's balancing that needs to be done when it comes to survival and gathering of food. But like, it has a lot of good foundations, a lot of good ideas here. But you know, so did a lot of other early access games, and it's one of those things where you're just not sure, you know, if the developer's going to keep up support. Alright, I'm starting to freeze to death now, on top of starving, so I'm going to die soon. But again, I kind of stopped worrying about that, because you can res. I'm going to re-res like right over at the little post there, and I'm going to be just fine. The world itself is really nice. It looks very pretty. Right now, everything's starting to go black and white because my guy's dying. But you know, you build the shelters to stay warm or to get warm. The fires, of course, warm you up, as well as cook food and craft at those. The current crafting selection is a bit sparse, but I would think it's safe to assume that's going to be, you know, built out later on. If you're wondering if you should buy this game, like, now, in its current state, like, I would say no. Because everybody but me who were playing last night kind of, like, hopped out after that hour. It's like, oh, this is pretty cool. And, like, we were all kind of saying, like, this could be something good, but right now... Oh, I'm dead. Right now, it's pretty weak sauce. I'm actually offline currently, but, you know, I can rehost this world online if I want to. But yes, it has a ways to go. I used to have clothes, but I died and I lost my corpse, so bummer for me. But that being said, now that I am revived here, I'm gonna go. Actually, give me that. I'm gonna craft some items, and I'm going to show you some of the more interesting enemies that you can run into out here. There's not a whole lot from what I can tell, but there's still interesting. Like this could be good. This game could get really good, but you know, it's really on the developer to actually push out those updates. There's been some, you know, free-to-play stuff that just, I mean, not free-to-play, early access stuff that just do not pan out in the long run. And so, you know, some people are kind of left high and dry afterwards. Rats. I need some more bandages. I want to make a better bandage. But like the foundations here, from what I can tell from the developer of this game, looks like they've been doing mobile games for the most part. And this might be their first foray, at least as, you know, a development team to do something on the PC. Now, items do respawn along this coast every now and again, so it never hurts to double back to places and pick up items. As you see them along the coast. But I'm gonna go for a long jog here out to a burned village that seems to be overrun by skeletons when I last checked, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the environments are great. I mean, you know, this isn't the prettiest game ever, but it is, like, everything is well done. Nothing seems too out of place in the world for the most part. Though, you know, there's always room for improvement. There is some performance issues, and by that I mean I'm generally running above 80 frames, but sometimes when I look into the forest, it drops down to 50, and you look at the visual fidelity of this game, it looks great, but, you know, it's not like it should be pulling, you know, too much power that it should have that frame drop. But, you know, engines are what engines are, and I did not see. This is just a static house here. It's always here on the map, as well as this campfire. But I did not check to see what engine they're using, unless this might be proprietary. Maybe it's an engine of their own creation. I get a feeling it's the Unity engine, though. Animation-wise, there's some work to be done. Because, you know, I do get a Rust feel from this game as well, except Rust is more of a kind of a post-nuclear apocalypse sort of deal. From when I last checked, I don't know what it is anymore, to tell you the truth. This game has an idea for what its world is supposed to be about, and it's sticking to it, and I think that makes this world a bit more compelling in that regard. You can kind of just fill in the blanks on the lore, unless there's some lore you can actually find in the world, which I have not found just yet. Maybe it's something they haven't added yet. But this is almost a first impression, except for the fact that I have played this game for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours prior to live streaming. But yeah, like, it's like they have a good foundation, like, but, you know, I'm at that point with early access games where I'm concerned if this game's actually become something, or the developers are just going to kind of take the money and just run with it, you know? I mean, I'm not necessarily throwing stones, but if you look at something like, say, Days, that game was supposed to be out of, you know, quote-unquote beta. They were by the end of 2014. We're now in 2015 as of this video, and it is not out of what is still called alpha by now. A lot of promises being made, and you know, I mean, it's understandable there's going to be some issues involved in that game, especially when you look at the engine. As you can notice, I'm in the shadow here. The shadow of the tree is not casting onto my actual character's arms or anything like that, but the shadow of the actual little axe or hammer I got here seems to be fine. Alright, so we're almost there. We kind of have to make this quick because I want to double back to home base and get the stuff back there and drop it on the ground. Eventually I want to create a storage chest. There's not too much explanation as to what you need to do. Hopefully some wikis will come alive and start kind of filling in the blanks. It took a lot of fumbling around to really figure out what was going on. The UI could use a little bit more work, but again, we're basically playing an alpha build of the game. No bows and arrows. I was checking on the Steam discussion forum, and people were wondering about that and whining about not being able to feed the fire, so you have to remake a fire pit every time. Yep, there's our village. And, you know, that's a bit of a bummer. Alright, so we're at the village. We're just going to duck into these houses, see what we can find. I kind of want to take out some of these skeletons and set up a respawn point near here, so this place can kind of be grinded for resources, per se. There's probably going to be character wipes if these guys are actually going to get serious about updating the game, which, you know, that is my big hope. I can hear the jingle of the skeletons. They're not too dangerous. Fruit hatchet, thank you very much. But I gotta be careful. I can handle one skeleton. Multiple skeletons will be a problem. And I think he's hitting me, even though he's not actually within range. Yeah, he's hitting me, so that most definitely needs to be fixed. That most definitely needs to be fixed. I'm not bleeding, thankfully, but it is kind of annoying to, I'm gonna drop that for now, to be hit like that. At first I thought it was okay. The more I play, the more I realize, like, the hitbox, either for the character or the swing of the enemy, is way beyond the actual physical model / animation. Alright. So got a little bit of armor on, but that's not going to help me too much. It's a bit of a game of keep away right now. Ooh. Get that for a friend to use. Crude meat. I will most definitely eat that to get my health up here. I gotta make sure I don't get snuck up on here. No idea, Castle. I've been trying to puzzle that out. I get the feeling that it's the Unity engine, but I did not necessarily check. I'm going to check their site later to see, but if it's Unity, at least they're starting off with it being a bit more polished than most Unity games usually tend to start out at. Let me get back around here. I'm going to find some more kit. I need to go ahead and take down more of these skeletons to build another res post. Oh, what's this? That'll work. So we got some serial armor now. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was thinking, 4.0. Like, it runs well enough, but, it is It does like feel like it's a Unity engine. And from what I can tell from the website, these guys made mobile games, and I'm pretty sure they're probably using the Unity engine for that as well. But don't hold me to that. It's more of a speculation than anything else. But yeah, for those who are watching YouTube, again, I am Twitch streaming, so I'm answering questions in the chat. And Castle is Great is bringing up some questions. Is that that might be an armored skeleton? I'm gonna avoid fighting him. But yeah, Castle is Great is asking some questions. We're wondering what engine it is, but yeah, it does feel like Unity. When I was running with friends, the animation is almost screen rust for some weird reason. So take that as you will. I need one more skeleton head. And, dang, looks like that guy has some armor on, but I'm gonna chance it. Oh, yeah, he's a runner. Oh, crud. Come on. Alright. That'll be the third skull I need. I'm gonna drop the rocks, don't need that. I need to go grab some sticks. And, set up a res point here, and then I can get a bit more, courageous, I would say. Careless. That's probably a better word for it. But, you know, it really is one of those games where I'm hoping this will become something good. That's the hope. Will it? Maybe, maybe not. I need to drop some stuff here. Okay, so I need to make sticks, I believe. Wood stick. Takes 2 logs to make 1 wood stick. Alrighty then. Alright, now I think his journal, resurrection post. Let me set this resurrection post somewhere outside the place. Oh, I hear some wolves. Oh, I thought I had enough skulls. Did I leave one? Did I drop it? Hope I didn't drop it. Let me look at my inventory. Maybe I left one. My character is getting cold. I was pretty sure I got enough skulls. Let me check over here. I might have to do another fight. Equipment degradation seems a bit too fast for my liking. That's weird. I'm gonna have to fight that last skeleton and hope I get the skull off that. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure I killed one around here somewhere. Oh, there he is. No, didn't I? Yep, okay. Well, I guess I lost that skull or I never picked it up. I don't know. Let me go get that last skeleton before I have to fight in the dark. I want to get that res point set up because once my cold meter goes down to 0, I'm basically screwed. Where are you? I hear you. I hear you. Oh, hello. Ow, he is hitting me, that's for sure. Alright, we got our skull. Let's stack that. Grab that. Alright, let's get this put together, because I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to die out here. Oh, no! 2 more skeletons has popped up. Okay. Wow. They're marching on in. Alright. Well, let me just rush up here. Hit the point. And I might be able to make it back. We'll probably go for it. I'm going to try to get back to base and drop off these goodies. But like I said before, no real point in getting food. It's a bit too hard to get food. Might be easier once they actually allow you to make a bow, or at least loot a bow. As long as you have your resurrection point up, you can kind of die whenever you want. As long as you die near close enough to find your body. That being said, skellies are coming out. I'm hearing wolves a lot more, so I wanted to get back to the little village that me and my friends were building. And drop off all these goodies I got. See that I have an extra skull. So evidently I was probably looking at the thing wrong when I was trying to place it. Oh well, spare skull doesn't hurt. Save it for another resurrection point. Every now and then the run animation breaks. But what can you do? But here's hoping they'll have an update out soon with something a bit more substantial, at the very least allow you to feed logs into the fire, because it's really strange that you can't keep your fire going. You build it, and then, which costs, I believe, 6 stones, 3 wood, and 2 flint. And so you have to keep doing that repeatedly. It burns for maybe half the day. So that's great, but really doesn't work out in the long run. Alright. Now, starving to death is a really slow process. But when you get cold, your health drops really fast. So, the plan here is to get back to home base before it starts freezing to death, because that just does not work out. I'm getting pretty close. Just gotta be mindful of the wolves coming out of the forest here. No way yet to build walls or fences, even though we were at a village that had a very crude fence set up. So it's safe to assume they have the model in the game. It just, they don't have the actual crafting elements to do it yourself. But the same can be said for a lot of other things. I thought you'd be able to tan your hides that you get, but evidently, that is not a thing. You kind of just take the hides you get from looting the animals, and you just go to a fire and craft whatever you want to really craft. So I don't know how deep they're going to get with the crafting system. I'm hoping not for it to be too deep, but for it to make sense in a way. Not overly complicated, but not too shallow. I like there to be a bit more investment. That being said, item degradation is a bit too high. Like, my armor's already about to fall apart. It's like, wow. For me to actually craft that armor would take quite a bit of time and resources, but the actual longevity of said items, you know, seems a bit too short for the effort put into them. So I think this game will get good in maybe a month. It's a great idea now, but ideas, you know, only get you so far. Alright, there is the camp. And yep, I am now down 0% on my warmth. So I'm dying from the cold. But that's okay. Back at the camp. And my res pole's right there. Just gonna step inside here of all my goodies. Throw them all down. I might craft some things before I die, but hammer, guns. There's no way to actually repair your items too. That'd be a really nice feature that they could add. My cold actually went up to 5%, so I'm actually warming up in here, but I'm kind of inclined to just die right now. And starting with a higher amount of health. Oh, I still got a skull needs to drop in here. I got so many items in here now, it's ridiculous. I need to build a bigger house, I think. Storage shed or something. So far we have not been attacked by the dragon, but I have been seeing the dragon fly around its tower, and I believe it flies off to another tower that's on this island. So that's a thing. I'm going to go ahead and check this camp here, see if any items respawn at the static camp. I'm pretty sure something has. Something's shining over there. I'm totally hearing wolves off to my left. Cloth shreds, tree nuts, and I don't need flint. Flint is pretty easy to come by. There used to be a lot of woods out in this area, but as we've been building, we've been chopping down the wood, trees, and as far as I can tell, the trees do not come back. So I don't know if that's a finite resource, I don't know if that's by design, or is something they're going to change later. But currently, the trees do not regrow. Maybe you can plant trees, I don't know. It would be nice if they add a farming system of some kind so you can at least grow something. Said before, this game really needs a bow if you actually want to hunt meat. Because chasing animals down is kind of ridiculous. We're usually running around like a wolf pack surrounding a deer, which is cool in a way, but just a lot of resources being expended to get maybe 1 to 2 pieces of meat out of an animal, if that. Alright, so there we go. I'm starting to die again. Again, the cold will kill you quicker than starvation. So keeping warm is almost more important than keeping fed. Eating food does heal you, though. So keep that in mind. Blah. Oh, while I'm waiting to respawn, there are a lot of different things going on here. I thought that was on extra high. Fantastic. Blah blah blah. Sound effects. Music. Non-sensitivity I had to bring down because it was way too sensitive initially. Brightness. I like brightness where it is. It seems to be fine. But yeah, that's going to be it for this quick look at Savage Lands. The game shows promise. And there's just a wolf nearing me somewhere. But yeah, the game shows promise. It's really on the developers to consistently update this game. If they don't, then it's going to be kind of a bummer. So yeah, thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.